Hey guys!
Hey guys! I'm sitting here thinking that Clayton's all ready to get this video going and there's no supplies. So anyways.
You've known me longer than that.
Yeah, so welcome back to the Voyager backpack pattern video assistant module part 2.
What?
I don't know.
Your video assisted instructions.
Yes, video assisted instructions. Clayton is frantically sewing the little straps onto the shoulder pads. You want to tell him about what you're doing?
Yeah, I just wanted to, I thought the shoulder straps were going to look kind of plain, so I wanted to sew on, I think it's called molle, basically the webbing that you see on the front of the backpack straps.
So this is,
put like a carabiner on or
you
something.
You decided to do this in addition.
In addition.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's why he didn't do it on camera, apparently, is because it's an additional Clayton ad.
You are quite the wordsmith today.
It's gonna be a
radio
hard day. What?
I don't know if you have a walkie-talkie.
Yep.
You could put your
yeah, you can hang all sorts of things.
Like
so,
your Camelback has
your canteens.
You might as well put them on your regular.
Your little, like essential oil vials, maybe.
So we finished up these straps on Wednesday. So once again, this is part 2 of the Voyager backpack pattern instructions. We finished these up, and he has decided to sew on. And this one is in the middle of getting clipped and burned. Tony.
Oh, just keep holding it up there. I'll recognize in a minute.
So we've got these molle straps. Molle straps.
Sure.
Okay, that's what we're gonna call it.
Yeah, I think that's right.
So this one has. I assume this one is going to have a little clip on it that you're working on, so that you can hook it across your chest. Is that the goal?
That's a good assumption. Yeah,
oh, cool.
That's the goal.
Yeah. So anyways.
I'm going to do that right now.
So he's just attaching those on. Once again, these are padded straps. You can see the foam in here. Alrighty. I'm going to keep clipping and burning. And then we will take up where we left off.
Yeah, what's our next step in the instructions? Because we're almost done with this.
We're going to put the gusset onto the pocket front that we finished. That's the next thing.
Okay. So, yeah, we'll start spreading the adhesive in just a second.
The adhesive that you forgot.
Oh, I just wanted you to go get it. Hold on a second.
How's everybody doing this fine Friday? It was
freezing.
60 degrees here yesterday, and today it's snowing outside, so that's terrible. I feel like I get to complain about the weather at least once a week.
You do 3 videos a week. I'd say it's probably at least 3 times a week.
Well, on Thursdays it's too much. We don't have time to talk about it. I have to tell everybody the rules that I forget every time we talk about them.
We talk about a whole lot of things.
We talked about a lot. Holly actually made us a checklist of rules, so anybody that likes to do the live shopping, hopefully next week, we can remember all of the rules and get them said all at once. We'll see.
Very doubtful.
Okay. There's that last one.
Okay.
Alright, so we got a little modification done. Let's get some of this out of the way here.
Alrighty, so next, Clayton, you're going to be taking, I assume you already have this piece cut because it's right there. So you made a fancy gusset so that it matches your two-tone pocket.
Another modification.
Another modification, guys.
Yes. So
this should have been 2 inches wide by 36 inches long, which this still is 36. Mm-hmm. But you just made it fancy so that when he wraps it around this, it matches. Yep,
instead of just cutting one piece, I went ahead and cut it into 3 pieces. We're doing different colors for our bottom gusset on the bag, and then the top gusset, which the zipper is going to go in. So I wanted to make this front pocket match that color scheme.
You're so fancy.
Well, I try. So basically this is going to go around, the blue will go around the top of the bag, and then the gusset will meet up in the center. Should overlap perfectly, about a ½ inch. And go right around. So first thing to do is we went ahead and bell knife skived the edge, one of the long edges of our gusset. So we're going to go ahead and spread glue there, and we're going to do a 1/4 inch rolled edge all the way along the length. I'm going to do my best to work under the camera today.
Good job.
Yeah. Probably still see
Once again, I'm on the wrong side still, so I'm sorry if anybody is freaking out at home because I'm not sitting on the right side of the table.
You know what? I can use basic tape a whole lot faster for this part. It has been a busy morning.
It sure has. We had to get here like an hour earlier than normal.
I know.
That was difficult.
what's worse is we had to sit in a freezing cold room for 2.5 hours.
Rusty's Arctic office, as I like to call it. Which is the conference room that he uses as an office because we kicked him out of his office.
It's keeping him preserved.
Yeah, it's cold in there.
Thanks, Ollie. Sometimes I need that auditory feedback, you know?
Can you make your laughing louder, please?
It's gonna be a great day.
It is going to be a great day.
Hey, Clayton, we have a trash can too if you don't want to use it.
No, I'm good.
Yeah, I had to
You got a broom, right?
sweep up
No.
so much yesterday.
No, the shop came and stole it because they're sweeping up everything all the time. Actually, I do have a broom.
Sweep, sort, and standardize.
I know.
So I skived the edge of this down to about 1 ounce using our bell knife skiver, using NP4. And it's funny because you can see here I actually skived this after I had sewn it all together. It was an afterthought, and I should have skived it before, but I had to. Where's the camera? There we go. So I actually had to pick up the bell knife foot and lift it over my stitches so I didn't cut through the stitches.
I have what I can only assume is people from the shop asking what time they should put the reservation in for.
That's a fair point. I guess that's kind of up to whenever I finish this bag.
Watch closely. When you feel the end is near,
That's the time.
that's the time.
So I'm taking the sewing room out to lunch today because they did a great job this week getting caught up, and they wanted to go to Hinode's.
Nice.
Yeah. So that'll be pretty delicious. So what? I don't know. Are we stopping today at a certain point, regardless if we're finished, or are we just gonna power through?
1 o'clock would be a good time to set your lunch reservation for.
Okay. There you go. 1 o'clock.
So you can let Melissa know. I'm assuming she's the one that's asking.
If I'm not done with the bag yet, Liz will finish it up.
Oh, thanks. Well, that's not gonna happen. I have faith in you. We're halfway through.
Have you ever made a bag, Liz?
Yes.
Have you ever constructed with Clayton?
Yes. That used to be my whole job. Look at that, guys.
Ever made a backpack?
No. I made a small purse.
Nice. Okay, so we got our 1/4 inch rolled edge all the way around. Your rolled edge is actually going to be going up against the front panel on the bag, and your unrolled edge is what we're going to go ahead and glue down around the piping.
But wait, you need to roll one of these ends.
Really?
Yep.
I didn't skive it yet.
Well, it wants you to roll one
But wait, there's more.
so that you can do this again, I'm assuming.
Because it'll overlap.
Yep.
Okay, well I think this is probably thin enough. I
You wanna
probably
go get a
away
little
with it.
skiver? Are you good?
Yeah, let's see if we can get away with it here.
Go get your head knife. You can pull a Denny.
Pull a Denny.
No,
Or go
I'm
take
not
it to
gonna
Denny
do
and be
that.
like, can you skive this for me in 2 seconds?
I'll just run back over to the bell knife if I have to. Quick, bring me a bell knife. Okay, so we're gonna roll one of the short ends as well, yes?
Yes.
Okay. Now what?
Now you're going to apply basting tape to this or contact cement
All the way around the panel?
to the flap of the piping around the pocket. Yep.
I'm gonna go with contact cement.
All
It's
right.
gonna stick a lot better.
And then
Do we have a picture of the finished backpack?
we have this. And it's going to be updated with this beautiful tan and blue one as soon as we're done.
That's what kind of backpack we're doing. You're good.
Just kind of a standard
You got a book bag,
Jan Sport looking kind of backpack.
knapsack, kind of.
Sport. That's brand specific.
It fits a standard laptop.
If it's a standard laptop.
A standard laptop.
If you don't know what a standard laptop is,
I'll get you one.
if it fits in this bag, it is. If it isn't,
That's what it's not.
This is kind of where we set the standard for laptops. Yeah, with the bag.
please base all of your standard laptop sizing due to this Voyager backpack.
All right, so then on the gusset, I believe that we need to apply contact cement around the non-rolled edge on the outside, and that's what will stick here.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm going to read this chat to you mostly because I haven't opened PowerPoint and put it up there yet.
Okay.
And so I can get extra talking in, so I can hear myself. Relatively new to leather work, and I am making a purse. I saw a video that only mentioned that my gusset would need more stitches on the outside of the curve than the inside, but never explained how to do it, or maybe why. It's a one piece with a rectangular gusset on either side.
Not sure I followed that 100%.
I'm not sure that I follow it either.
More stitches on the outside of the curve than the inside? Is that what the question was?
I mean, I guess because the arc is bigger on the outside.
Sure.
But usually
if
that
you're just-
doesn't,
if
you
you're
don't have
punching-
more stitches. The only time that I've seen that kind of a situation applied is when you're lacing and you will go through like the corner hole that you're lacing
That's
multiple times. But with sewing, you don't do the same thing.
Yeah. Just punch your holes and use the same spacing as you go around it.
Yeah. Yeah, so if you're lacing, then that is a thing that you might need to go through one hole multiple times to get around the corner as you go, because that's what Kevin does, and you know, Denny is there lacing around something. But with sewing, it just doesn't quite work that way.
Great insights, Liz.
You can request a lacing and stitching guide with your next order.
Thanks, Holly.
You're welcome.
One thing I did not bring was my X-Acto knife, my craft knife.
Okay.
Melissa or Andy or Ryan, help! Alright, let that tack up. And I'll just expedite this. Oh, are you going to get it?
Yeah, I'll go get it.
Alright.
I feel like that's important. I don't think do you anything else, Clayton, while I'm out? Would you like a little lunch? Can I get you some creamer? Your coffee?
Oh,
A roller? Are you good?
Sushi
you can go later.
Okay.
Yeah, you can just go again later.
I wear a size 8 shoe, maybe.
Alright, so while that's tacking up, I'm going to go ahead and lay down 1/4 inch basting tape. This is going to be our zipper gusset. And so we're going to roll one edge of this as well. So let's go ahead and lay down some basting tape, and we can start on that after we stick this down. So one again on this gusset, one long edge is to be skived down thin enough to roll over for a 1/4 inch rolled edge. You can kind of see I actually skived both sides on this one. One side just didn't quite get thin enough to my liking, so I skived the other side.
Clayton, Aaron had a question here. Do you guys have experience with needles getting sticky when you sew through holes that are in the same place as the tape or glue?
You can have some issues with the basting tape transferring some adhesive. If you use too much contact cement, you'll run into that issue as well. Typically, if you use a thin layer of contact cement and let it cure a proper amount of time, it won't stick to your needle.
And one thing that people, I don't think that they a lot of times realize is that contact cement, the alcohol evaporates over time. So like if you're not using it really, really frequently, but even if you do, as that contact cement evaporates, it gets thicker. And so you really need to, if you buy a gallon of contact cement, go ahead and buy a quart of thinner, and that way you can add it, you know, as you use it, and keep that contact cement really nice and thin so you can put on a nice thin layer. Always buy the matching brand.
I assume
thinner.
Marcus is talking, and this question is for the earlier when we were talking about this stitching stuff, and Marcus was saying need to punch the holes at a larger spacing on the outside of a curve. Maybe that is what the video was talking about. I don't know what video they were talking about or referencing, so.
Okay, so instead of starting on the bottom of this gusset, of the pocket, and laying the gusset around, I'm actually going to measure to the center of my, since I did this two-tone gusset, I'm going to measure the center because I want my top to be centered and my side seams
That's the most
to be
important.
centered. Yeah. I have a mess today. Tell you what. I'm gonna forget something here. I can feel it. So get the center of that, the center of our pocket. All right, so then we're gonna work our way around.
That's not.
Yes.
That's not right. Do you want the blue to be at the top?
Yep.
Okay.
Are you sure you don't want to make any other design decisions here yet, like before you fully stick that down? Like maybe putting the blue in a different area?
No, I think I'm good with this.
Okay.
Blue on top. Final answer.
Sorry, Luke.
All right.
That way his seam will be at the top or at the bottom, where the other seam already is as
Seam
well.
will be at the bottom.
I just thought that the blue was going to line up with the blue around the bottom. But that's cool. That's just... I'm just going to stop talking now.
We could just reconstruct it like it last longer if we want to.
You know what? Just start over.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, what are you doing?
No, Liz. Remember we agreed on the main body of the bag. We're going to do the brown around the bottom. Yes. Never mind.
Oh. Yes, I understand now. We're matching the gussets
We are.
and not the pocket colors.
That was close.
Woo, I got
It's
it.
about the product as a whole, okay?
I got it.
Think about more than just the pocket.
Think outside the pocket.
Think outside the pocket.
So this is kind of weird, the way the instructions have you do it. It has you stick it down all the way around, and then we're actually going to trim and sew our gusset ends together while it's stuck to the bag. It's just weird. It's just weird, man.
Is it?
Yeah, because normally I would attach my gusset and make sure I cut it to the right length. I guess it's because you're assembling this pocket panel together and you don't know what the exact circumference is going to be. If you don't follow the directions precisely, it can turn out differently. Okay, so I've got it stuck down all the way around. I'm going to go ahead and trim off the excess, and then we will, well, actually, let's go ahead and sew it. What's that?
Did you get your piping foot?
I did.
Cool.
I'm going to stitch this first, and then we'll stick it back down and do our piping. Come out right. Hold on a second. We're a little off center here. Look at that. Want to roll it or you want to fix it?
Yeah, it's close.
It's close, but it's a little off.
Oh, that's so noticeable.
That's so noticeable. Hold on a second.
What happened?
I don't know. Evidently, I didn't get it measured right, or it's a different length around the right side than it is the left side. See if I can take up some slack here so it doesn't throw us too far off.
You saying you got a wonky pocket?
I might.
The old wonky pocket.
All right, let's just try this again. Might as well do it right.
I'll take the tape off this side and you can re-put tape.
That's glue.
Oh, it was glue.
Mm-hmm.
But since it's on the finished side,
Now, you can go ahead and start rolling the edges on this.
Okay.
Go ahead and leave that adhesive on there. That should be enough to stick down. I'll just reapply here for a second. So we want to make sure and get our seams lined up. You're going to try and do something extra for aesthetic value, might as well do it right. Did you guys hear him whispering over there?
Hey guys.
Guys, did you see? Clayton just did something wrong.
We got Dexter in here today.
The table jumper.
Yeah. Funny guy. He was wearing a top hat earlier.
I don't know.
I
Can you
know,
jump up in
everybody
this-
in here knows, but-
Can you jump up here in this one little spot, Dex?
Come here, what's up?
Let's-
Hey, come here, what's up? Let's go.
Come on, Dexter. There he is.
Hi, Bubs.
Good job. Good
Can we down?
Sit. Sit. Good down.
What a good boy.
Good. Stay. Gotta get a picture. Dexter.
Careful going your tail there, Dex.
Oh wait. Hey,
It's all right. You're good.
hey, you don't have to sniff or anything. You can just
You don't have to sniff. Don't use your nose.
sit. Whatever. This is happening.
This is too much. Isn't he such a pretty boy, guys? Hi, Bubs. Come here. Hi.
It's a wild place. Dogs on the table.
Thank you. You give the smallest kisses ever.
Let's see.
Hey, Dex. Kisses.
Oh, Liz.
You went down. Go on.
Man, all the chats are going crazy. I can't even keep up to them.
What are they talking about, Tony?
Is anybody home for the weather? Due to weather-related reasons?
Should I roll this one too, I'm assuming?
Yep.
Okay.
Alright, let's try this again. I'm going to mark the center of the blue section, and it should line up with the center, the top of our pocket.
Did you try to eyeball the center? Is that where you went wrong on the pocket?
No, I measured it.
Oh.
Should work out. Alright. If it doesn't this time, we're just going to go with it.
We'll try to fix it once, but that's it.
Yeah.
Terry says, those little words that every woman wants to hear. You're right, dear. Shot right over the coffee cup there.
That looks much better. Okay, so apparently I did something wrong the first time.
It happens, Clayton.
Happens to the best of us.
I guess.
Not that we're saying you're the best of us, but we're just saying that it happens.
It happens.
Happens
Also
to
the
you
best
mostly. But
It happens, but also to the best of us, it does. Don't put yourself in that category. Wow, Liz. Dexter belongs to Holly. Or Holly belongs to Dexter.
Yeah, kind of. He does run my world.
Yeah.
Either way, you wanna do that one.
Chevy says you can't get this kind of content every day.
We guarantee it.
We got a former YouTuber switching to the Twitch.
Going to the dark side.
Yeah.
Yes.
somebody steal our lighter off of our sewing machine.
There's
I have
one
this-
back there.
Thank you.
Just put that in there.
I thought I had it in your hand.
I thought you had put your fingers around this lighter. Turns out you hadn't.
Alrighty, do you want me to cut this so the next part is putting the zipper in, and it says to cut it to 29 inches. Do you want me to cut it exact, or do you want me to oversize it a little bit?
It doesn't matter either way, because our bottom gusset's going to overlap the edges. So as long as this is as long as these panels, we should be pretty good.
I might just leave it then, and we can trim it later.
That's fine.
Okay. Pasting tape. So it wants me to use the 1/2 inch. Do you want me to use just the 1/4? Since that's what I've got in here.
1/4 or 3/8, whatever you got.
Whatever this is.
3/8.
I concur with the loop Jessica.
I would apply it to the leather.
Okay. To the rolled edges.
Yep.
Oh.
All right.
Just like we did last time.
Go ahead and change out the presser feet to some welting feet so that we can walk right around our project with ease and all stay centered.
It's funny, the Facebook chat today, Mikey Evans was saying, my wife says, I don't care what you're making until you're done. I don't want to see it every time you stitch something.
Listen, sometimes those stitches can be tricky, and it's exciting when you get done and nothing went wrong.
Yeah, and when you're not bleeding when you get done.
Yeah, that's also an accomplishment.
Look what else I have stitched to this project, and I am not bleeding still.
I'm pretty sure I stab myself at least 3 or 4 times every time I make a knife sheath. It's just guaranteed it's going to happen.
Dean said he made 2 of the baskets out of 10-ounce leather.
Nice.
Good.
They must have. Oh, let's see. I must say they kicked my butt. Very hard to form and mold.
Yeah, what were
Did you let it get wet enough though? Because honestly, if the leather's wet enough, even 10-ounce leather shouldn't be too much of a struggle. Like, you really got to soak them.
Do a saddlebag for a Harley.
Didn't we talk about doing the saddlebag pattern?
We did
that
talk
you
about
did?
doing the saddlebag pattern. I think we even have some of that shrunken grain pebble that might be from an HD company.
Oh, do you think we still have some of that? We sold a lot of it.
I know. I think we might have a couple sides of it. We sell the different feet for the Cobras.
Yes.
In the leather machine guide, you should be able to find all the feets.
All the feet.
Honestly, I think all the foots, like
Yeah.
all the feet. Is it just
You can
feet?
find all the feet?
Yeah, the plural on its own.
We sell a motorcycle Voyager pack for your Harley. We've got a saddlebag and a front pouch. And
I don't know if it's specifically for Harley.
I don't think we do, but you can use it on any motorcycle.
Unless it doesn't fit.
And you can make it fit because you're probably gonna make it.
I can do this all day, Holly.
So can I, Tony?
Alright, so now sewing around this, once you've installed your piping, to get started you just kind of let your foot down on your project and feel where your piping is ending up and make sure it's falling right in the groove of
Carry tea.
your piping foot. And you can just follow it all the way around.
So you can kind of see under that gusset that Clayton is stepping on the rolled edge there, or the piping.
Yeah, there's the foot. It rhymes. So you can buy different widths of piping feet for whatever width piping you want to do. And then it should walk down your piping to keep you in line with it, which is really nice.
It is, and it allows the needle to get much closer to the edge of your piping than it would otherwise. Whoops.
138 thread,
Correct.
Top and bottom.
which is probably. Do you know where it's the text thread? What that's similar to the 135?
Yeah, the numbers run pretty closely. The text sizes to whatever the size system we use. All right. Well, hopefully it's worth the effort. We got that done. The rolled edge laid down here. Go ahead and flip that out and see how we did.
Oh, I made a duffel bag.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about that for a while. You did do the duffel bag
I made a
pattern.
couple of them.
Yeah.
I put a pocket and a gusset on it.
Oh,
Gusseted pocket on it.
in the instructions, I think it's going to have us trim around this, yes? Trim off some of the excess so it'll fold a little bit easier.
Sure.
It's too late, I'm doing it.
Yeah, it didn't say specifically, but
You can get some of this excess leather out of the seam so it'll fold over a little bit better.
I can't believe I forgot about my duffel bag. Pete's sakes.
Yeah, that ended up, we finished the duffel bag pattern, what, a year ago?
Yeah, not all that long ago, and I made it back when our shop was on the whole other side of the building.
I know.
So, you know,
It kind of morphed into a whole other beast, though.
it did. A furry hair-on beast.
Right?
All the pockets and any additions Larissa could think to make to it.
That was a cool pattern.
I thought so.
Alright, so get some of that out of the way.
Oh, we're putting T-zippers on this?
What?
We're putting T-zipper pulls on that?
Mm-hmm. You put another one on there facing
The other way?
that one.
Okay. I can do that. I hope.
Alright. So that's going to be our front pocket. Finally, that's done. So then next, we're going to apply it to our front panel. So we're doing the blue nubuck for our front panel, and that's the one that we have the picture jasper inlaid on. And so on the pattern, it does have you cut out a template. I'll show you guys real quick for marking the placement of this pocket, because you're going to be taping or gluing this down right around there and stitching it. So you're going to want to make sure everything's square, mark a nice clear line that you can follow with the edge of your gusset. Just laying it down on there and tracing it out. Alright, so I'm going to say we're going to try this one with tape. It's kind of hard to accurately glue around a line like that. Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, an interior line is tricky. I think in the picture it shows them using a glue bottle. Like a bead.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Running a bead of adhesive around it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think hopefully the double-sided tape will do the trick for us.
We do have some Rinia.
Oh, we do.
Just
Yeah, my only thing is that stuff's probably going to be so thin, trying to lay a bead down like that's going to be difficult
Yeah,
without
a
it
little
running out
runny.
the edge. You know, another product that would be good for this would be our Neo Weld, because it only requires one-sided application and it stays tacky.
You guys,
Smells delightful.
we have a question from Carrie. Do you guys know, will the MP4 be sufficient to skive up to 8 to 10 ounce edges?
Well, it depends on how much you want to take off at once. I ran leather that thick through the NP4, and granted, that's at the top end. It's not going to like it. but I've been able to do it in the past. If you're looking to do that consistently, then I would probably take a closer look at the NP10. With the NP4, you'll have to make some adjustments on it to allow a thicker split through, and a Skive thicker leather, or make multiple passes. But you can do it. You getting bored, Liz?
Nah.
No.
Do I need to put on the other half of this gusset, or do we sew this first?
So we will sew the zipper in.
Okay. And then there's my bottom.
You could probably roll the edges, the ends on that.
Yeah, when it comes to bag making, basting tape is really awesome. Because there's a lot of like rolled edges. I guess when you're doing a lot of rolled edges, basting tape is really nice. It's quicker than contact cement and usually does a pretty good job holding everything down.
Alright, so trying to get this as square as possible. We're going to stick this gusset down to the front of the bag. Yeah?
Mm-hmm. Yep, and then you sew it in. Excuse me, guys.
You guys have any fun plans for the weekend?
How about unfun plans?
Unfun plans? It's going to be really cold tomorrow. I'll probably complain about the weather a little bit. No, I guess I don't. Thanks for bringing it up.
How boring of a life I live.
Sorry.
Not everybody can be in their mid-20s and have all the energy in the world. Jeez.
Yeah, Dexter.
Those of us in our early 30s are really, it's downhill.
Just wake up tired.
Wake up time.
You eat a meal and you have to sleep.
Think about all the bills you have to pay.
Ugh.
Taxes.
Yeah, I need to do my
I
taxes.
do. Yeah, I'll probably do my taxes this weekend.
I
Yeah.
should probably get everything ready.
No. No.
Nope.
Not everybody's in their mid-20s and can just sit down and do their taxes in January.
Well, everybody gets to file a 1099 easy or whatever.
Right.
I guess I don't have to.
That's an
pay
old
this,
person
but-
joke. If I've ever heard one. That's probably
Get your attention.
make a tax joke.
Here we are crafting leather, making tax jokes.
All right, guys, look at that. There's our pocket. Good luck.
God, I'm gonna have to change this foot back and forth a couple times. I'm sorry, guys. This is gonna be boring and take forever. Oh, not the needle. What am I doing? All right. So once I get this sewn down, we'll stitch around our zipper and.
Well, Clayton changed a foot on the 26th. Liz, can you answer Jimmy's questions of howdy? Y'all have financing on your sewing machines?
Yes, we do. We do not finance here in-house, but we go through a third party called CIT. If you go to any one of the machine listings, or if you look up the...
At the bottom, there's a financing.
Yep, there's a financing button, or any of the machines will have like a finance button that you can click on. You fill out the application. Somebody will be in contact with you from the finance company to go over that. You can look at your options and then decide which way you want to go from there. Once again, we don't finance in-house, so if you decide to not go that route, you can pay with credit card and then pay it off that way if you wanted to not finance through a third-party company.
Speaking of taxes, if you have your own business, it would be a business expense.
Yep, it's definitely a write-off expense.
Please consult your tax advisors and not SLC.
Correct. We are not tax advisors. We are leather advisors only.
It's debatable sometimes, even at that point. Does the financing cover shipping?
Yes, it all rolls in. I think you can have up to 15% of the financing be miscellaneous items, but most of the finance charge has to be a machine purchase. You can't buy a machine and then finance a whole bunch of leather and hardware and chemicals. Those are expendable items that if you did not pay your bill, the finance company cannot reclaim and sell. So just FYI on that.
Look how great the shot is.
Yeah.
Well, it's it's a
kidding
pocket.
Hold on.
So Dean has a question, what happens in 5 or 6 years for the basting tape? The glue kind of just gets hard, but the basting tape just hangs out.
Stays
Just kind of hold
sticky.
in place. Does the stitch ever work away or pull up?
After 5 or 6 months, there's plenty of dust on the basting tape to where it's not sticking anymore, actually.
Does it show?
Basting tape?
Yeah.
If you do your job right, it won't.
Yeah, but it can. Yeah, if you get it too close to the edge or...
Everybody's digging these colors together, Clayton.
Good.
And the black zipper tape is not that awful.
Thank you.
No, it's really all right.
How often do you change your needles?
When it needs it.
How do you know when it needs it?
Well, usually they'll get a burr on it and start fraying and cutting your thread. They'll start to get dull. If they start to get dull and it's still sewing, you'll start to hear a kind of more of a punching noise. You'll hear it pierce the leather a lot louder. Yeah, I don't need to do it for them, but yeah, they can imagine.
They don't have to anymore. I just did it once. No imagination needed.
No,
here.
okay. All right.
Clayton doesn't like mouth sounds if you could not do that.
No. I tried to eat lunch one time in a meeting too. He didn't like that either.
Yeah, just tell everybody, Liz.
No wonder.
No problem. I got you.
No wonder Clayton isn't having anything fun plans this weekend. Clayton's a big fun sucker.
I am.
Please keep your mouth noises to yourself.
Please don't suck any fun around me.
Oh gosh.
Also,
This is.
don't eat food around me.
I feel like this video is going to be competition for yesterday's video, which took
Twists
some
and
weird
turns.
turns.
Started off with a dirty blonde. I don't even know what leather did we finish with.
The floral,
Oh yeah, starfish.
the starfish.
Dirty blonde to starfish. Do you or can you strop your needles?
No, you can probably, but I don't. I usually get a new one. I usually get a new one. I mean, these sewing machines, the shuttle hook has to be pretty precise coming around and meeting the scarf in just the right spot. And I just, instead of fiddling with trying to strop a needle and get it sharp again and not messing up, not bending it or removing too much material, I usually just go for a new one.
Yeah, especially, with your class 26, it takes a flatbed needle. It's like $10 a pack for 10 needles. So maybe even like $6.99, something like that. So it's really not very expensive. Now, your heavy stitchers, the needle is more expensive, but still, like $2.50 a needle. I think they're like $23.99 for a 10-pack of heavy stitching needles. So it's just better to change it out. Yep.
Is the piping feet available for the class 4?
Do we have a piping foot set up for the 3 and 4?
I'll have to look.
Get back to you.
I don't remember. Typically when I'm doing piping, it's on lighter weight projects like this, so I'm using a flatbed or a 26.
David Schwarb just said, follow Clayton around and make popping noises. So Angela was
Sure, David, come on down and do that.
Yeah. We also are armed in the production area with Nerf guns. So
yes.
enter at your own risk.
Exactly.
I like that blue on top of
Thanks.
the pocket, Clayton.
Thanks, man.
Great choice.
I got a lot of flack over this decision, but glad somebody likes it. Okay.
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 So,
Zipper.
yep, so that.
So we've got our 2 rolled edges matched up to our nylon zipper tape.
Does that
2
silver
tabs
pin come
facing
off?
each other. Yeah, it comes off really easy on the nubuck with one of our erasers.
So Angela had just gotten a new machine and has a bunch of questions because she's still in the scared stage of using it.
This is what I tell people. Just practice. Get leather that is not a project. Don't just go gung-ho on items that like you need to make or you spend a lot of time on. Use your scrap leather and just sew with the machine until you get comfortable with it.
Yeah, honestly, doing this project on a flatbed or with a work platform on this thing would not kill you. Wouldn't hurt.
Some might say you could suggest that.
Some might suggest that, yes.
Cool.
Very cool. Oh, you must be bored, Liz.
Well, no, I'm looking up the welting foot because we do list a welting foot set here, but not any specific widths, nor are we specific about what machine it goes with. So, Chad, that's something that we should probably look at.
The foot.
So it looks like the welting feet that we sell work with the 1820 and the 26. I don't have welting feet for the 3 and the 4. You might look at Leather Machine Company. Now you're going to put one of these on one of those and sew down one side.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah, so check leathermachineco.com for their class 3 and 4.
Let me look real quick.
Yeah,
I'll be over here doing my computer stuff.
okay.
Looks like this gusset's coming out a little bit wider, so we're just going to center it on there. And I'm going to be careful not to overlap more than a 1/4 inch because these are going to be connected. Jeez. Quite a bit wider.
So it looks like even on Leather Machine Co., they only show the class 18, 20, and 26 welting feet.
Okay. So nope, the 3 and the 4 do not have welting feet.
Come on, better than that. Let's go this way. And then we're going to stitch across that edge. We'll have one long gusset. What time is it, Tony?
Game time. Woo!
11:51.
All right. Yeah, I got a lunch date.
It's at 1 o'clock. Consummate nerd said, so I should get a class 26 then. Okay. I mean, if you're going to use a welding feed, yeah. It's the most versatile machine that we carry.
Yeah, really, unless you're doing like saddles most of the time. The 26 is pretty good for most of your small leather goods. Medium-sized leather goods, lightweight, medium weight, some heavyweight leather goods.
We have a lot of them in our shop, right?
No, we have, well, we usually use class 20s.
Or a heavy stitcher.
Or a heavy stitcher. Really, the only place that we have a 26 is in our R&D department because they do the most variety. Otherwise, like the sewing room makes wallet interiors and mostly flat goods, so they don't need the post part of the sewing machine, and so the class 20 flat bed gets it done.
Yeah.
All right, so you got one.
Water real bad. Anybody got any water? Water
Clayton,
up
you got
there,
a lunch
guys?
date. Don't forget that.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, so we got that
Coffee.
sewn on. I think it's time for the foam.
Oh boy. Okay.
Okay,
So we're set the gusset aside for a moment. We don't complete the loop yet, do we?
we do not.
Okay.
Only stitch one end. That's in
This
bold.
time.
Right
Okay.
there.
So we'll set that aside. Now we're gonna sandwich some foam into our back panel.
Yep, so we got the gusset sewn onto the front and everything, so that brings us all the way through step 72, and right now we are working on step 73 of assembling the back panel.
Correct. And so what it wants us to do is actually glue our foam down to our panel, oversized, and then trim the foam back a 1/2 inch in. I'm actually going to do it a little bit differently. What I would prefer to do is trace my pattern or my piece onto the foam, and then trace a 1/2 inch line inside of that, and go ahead and just cut the foam the size it needs to be.
That sounds good, and then you can line it up.
Yeah, and then we'll be able to line it up. It'll be fine. So,
You want to come over here a little bit?
yeah,
Cool.
good thinking.
Thanks.
Let's go ahead and trace the full-size back panel onto it.
Once again, this is just our gray seating foam that we sell by the square foot here.
Oh, thank goodness.
I put a lid on it so you didn't get spilly with it.
Good man.
Andy said I should have put hot water in it.
We've got some redeemed, some hydrates, and redeemed all the sips.
All the sips. Well,
Thank you.
that's not for Clayton.
That's not for me.
All the
right.
sips is not.
So then I'm going to go ahead and cut about a 1/2 inch inside this line, right? And I'm going to go ahead and eyeball it. I don't have a... You could use a wing divider with like a pin on one side and mark it all the way around, but we should be fine to go ahead and eyeball it. Give me that straight edge right there.
Okay. Oh, it's right here. It's right there.
It's
Hey,
right
guys.
there.
It's right there. Cheers. A cup of coffee is cold.
Ma'am.
Apparently when you're trimming things, you need to vertically look exactly down at them.
Angela says, "You guys have I've already downloaded Twitch for you. Now you want me to download Discord and figure it out?" I have posted a picture of what room looks like in here during a live.
All right.
But most of the chats don't let me post pictures, so
Gotta go
you
to
have to
the
do a
Discord.
Discord link.
Alright, so let's see that we got it cut small enough to where we should be about a 1/2 inch inside of our pattern piece all the way around. And looks like it's going to be a little bit close. God, I'm working on it. I'm getting better. So I'm actually going to take just a little bit more off of one side.
I still think we need to redo our table and put like a different colored square that's the center.
Stay here, please.
Especially now that we have the camera moved.
We could pull it and like put like one of the green ones in because we have the 3 different colors of Poundo that came.
Oops.
We could do it like a plaid. Or a checkerboard.
No, that would
And then we could
sound
play checkerboard during
terrible.
live shopping.
Now, if you
No, we
could,
can't. We have all the leather on here.
When we get to the end, when we get done.
This is a quick game of checkers.
Yeah.
alright, that should work.
Okay.
Yeah, if you could give me like a square or something to stay within, I like to think that would help.
That looks like a headstone.
Yeah, it does.
Speaking of heads, there's the back of yours.
Thank you.
Why does that line up so perfectly?
I don't. The talent I have.
Now I'm going to mark this on my leather piece so that it'll make it easier to line up. Once we get glue spread all over it.
Yep, we're just gluing a lot right now.
This is our glue line.
Yeah, we're gonna glue the whole thing.
Oh, I guess I didn't realize this had a padded bag.
It does.
It's
So could you
schmancy.
make a divided pocket in it so that your laptop, your standard size laptop, doesn't smack against your back but it's divided from your other?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, it wouldn't be that hard. So basically, I'll show you once we get this put together, or even really before. But if you wanted to go all the way across the back, you would apply it after, like overhead still.
Yeah.
So if you wanted to do like a divided pocket with some accessories on the back, you would pick your liner piece and go ahead and stitch your pockets on. If you're just doing one large divider pocket, then you basically just glue it on around the perimeter, leave it open across the top, and that would go on.
So you're gonna glue your foam and
Your
then
padded
you're gonna glue
bag.
that to it and you would. I got
Go
you.
sandwich together.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Thanks, Clayton.
That's what I'm here for, bud.
Clayton loves to do really fancy inside divider pockets with all the little accessories.
It's not about the outside.
You didn't.
that's
You didn't do
special.
it for this one though.
It's the inside that really sets it apart.
No, I didn't. I'm on a bit of a time crunch to get this thing done.
Yeah, you got a lunch date.
Got a lunch date. No, I do like making nice bag interiors.
Do you want me to put some glue on this?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Just do
With
what
my
you can.
teeny tiny brush. Takes forever. Yes.
Do I need to go get you a different brush?
Now I got it. It's great. And then we'll put on the piping as well.
Is that like putting on the Ritz?
Sure.
This makes it kind of ritzy.
Dean, I don't think that you really have to ask.
What?
Just guess.
What kind of glue are you using?
We just need to stop. I don't know. We need to label it or something. Stop using it.
We just put labels on it to say mystery glue.
Sticky stuff.
Do not inquire.
See you, Joshua.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Making me feel a little better.
So Rock Level says he had the glue pot that you're using and his glue dried in it. I don't think we've used it for about 2 or 3 years here.
I haven't really had any issue, yeah.
Yeah, I haven't seen that.
How
We do
long
also
did
have
it just
the glue-
sit in there? I mean, it will dry out if you don't use it.
or if you don't. I know Denny has to thin his back down.
Yeah. The alcohol is gonna evaporate no matter. I mean, it's pretty sealed, but it's not perfect, and even in the metal containers. So
We do have the glue pot that Clayton is using too. The glue container that
yeah, I think we just call it a plastic glue bottle.
very generic.
Look at that.
Look at it.
But you're really good at making those awful noises.
Just don't make them with your mouth.
Exactly.
Yeah. Got Dexter riled up.
Dexter, what are you doing? Come here.
He said forget.
He's like, I don't do commands for you.
Or me.
So the one that Clayton is using comes in a 16 and a 32 ounce.
Yep.
The 16 ounce is 169-206000. And the 32 ounce 169-206001.
All right, so once we get this laid on, then we're going to lay on our first round of piping, correct?
Yep.
It's exciting. We'll start looking like a bagger pretty soon.
I know. We're getting close.
Oh dear.
Woo!
Oh.
And then are you wanting to use basting tape on your piping, or would you rather use contact cement?
Contact cement would be great.
Okay. You want to hand me some and I can
That
get...
stuff sticks.
Okay.
There you go.
Thanks. This is going to be fun.
Consummate Nerd said we should label it glue not allowed in California.
Yep. That would be accurate, I think. It was Midwestern adhesive only. Made from Ozark horses.
Wow. Jeez.
Oh yeah, you're the horse lover over there, huh?
I have 2 of them.
Haven't sold them for glue yet.
No, and we have people that run rescue ranches here and everything, Clayton. So just irritate them all at one time like that.
They don't make glue out of horses anymore, do they?
I don't know.
I mean, that's a thing of the past. What?
Don't try to cover yourself
Maybe
up.
in Canada where
I'm
they still
asking.
eat horses.
I'm asking.
feeling bad
Maybe in
now.
France, yeah.
Clayton's starting to feel bad.
I I've never made glue out of a horse personally. All right.
We're not saying that we've never used glue made out of a horse. We've just never made our own.
I don't know. Yeah.
Oh boy.
Listen,
If I can be useful when I'm dead, please do. All right. You want to make me into some great adhesive? Great.
Great.
my hooves are going to be great for that. I learned that if you donate your organs when you pass away, they'll alert the family when they're used and let you know, like, who got what organs.
That's awesome.
Yeah, just so that, I don't know, it was kind of a neat thing. Like, whose life you helped save with the organs that were donated.
Too bad you'll never know where your own went.
Yeah, that's
Well, you
true.
will if you give a kidney.
I guess so. That's a good point there, Tony.
Yeah. I mean, I think you can you donate a lung while you're still living?
I don't think I'd want to.
No?
I don't think that would be a great idea for you to keep living.
You can live with one lung if you have to, but I don't know
Yeah.
if you really wanted to. I don't. I don't want to talk about this anymore. How about this backpack?
Yeah, the backboard really looks like a headstone. Here's where we end up in the video. Oh boy. Maybe we'll have to download this video and edit parts of it and then re-upload it.
Make it less sad.
Yeah, make it less anything. Just less.
Just less.
I guess we're all just having a hard day. I don't know. It's the weather.
I don't know, it's real dreary outside. Like, we finally got some sunshine and it went away again.
Took it all away.
Nobody likes that.
Samantha said that conversation went south real quick.
Daylight savings, though, guys. I tell you what, it's all gonna turn around.
And it is supposed to be like 60 on Sunday is what I think he was saying, or somebody was saying.
Thank goodness.
I mean, just our conversation in here, but I think our Twitch conversation went even darker than the conversation in here.
Awesome. Look at that. We got a padded back panel now.
All right.
So now we're laying piping around the back of this.
Yep, so I got glue on here, so if you put some glue around there, we'll get it piped.
Okay.
And then it's to final assembly, Clayton. Step 82, final assembly.
Final assembly.
Woo-hoo.
Nope, we don't have any oil here, Marcus.
Oh, we already made the handle forever ago, didn't we?
It's like the first.
Yeah, that was like the first
very
thing.
first thing.
Okay.
Make the handle and then let it sit patiently.
Yes.
Forever.
This table's kind of low.
Well, the rest of us aren't giants, so it works perfectly like the other 90% of the time.
Wow, thanks for reminding me again that I am abnormal.
No problem.
God, I wish we could have like some music or something. How you
I know,
do?
sometimes I wish that too, but since we're on YouTube, that's not a thing.
Do 3 of
I
these a
think we
week.
can use non-licensed music.
Ugh. Gross.
They're artists too, Clayton.
They're artists too.
Is there an easier way to make piping if you don't have a bell knife skiver?
Well, I didn't actually use a bell knife for the piping. I got a couple of strips thinned down to about 1 3/4 ounces, 2 ounces, and then you can use that to wrap your cord in.
Yes, you can order purse straps from us, and we can split it down to a nice 2 ounce for you.
You can have them request to be split.
Yeah. But otherwise, you're going to have to skive it at some point. So whether you do it with the bell knife or if you skive it with a safety skiver,
What's that?
whatever it is. So now you want to start at the bottom and you're going to work your piping all the way around.
Mm-hmm.
And then you'll put your... You'll mark the strap, and I think, didn't you sew? No,
No,
we
really.
sew here.
We're gonna be sewing our piping on. Tuck rolled in, inside of rolled in. No. No sewing there, just dotted lines.
Okay, so
Ignore the
that's
dotted
not...
lines.
Okay. So put the piping on, and then it looks like we put the handle, and then you put the straps on. And then the gusset, and you sew it all at once, is that right?
Mm-hmm. And then the front panel goes on last.
And you turn it inside out, which is the real fight in this project.
Yeah, so it's going to be a lot of layers. If you're doing your piping, your handles, your gusset, and your back panel, it's going to be a lot all together. So that's mainly why I use contact cement. Like, you could get this to stick down well enough just with a couple layers using basting tape. But you want, since you're putting so many things on at once and then stitching it, you want to make sure they stay in place. So the contact cement does a great job doing that. Lovely. I'm going to trim this end to fit right inside the other, up to where our piping ends.
Oh. Rourke said he'll sing to you, Clayton.
Ooh, what now?
Rourke said he would sing to you.
Thanks.
Deidre, does a glue or tape gum up the sewing machine needle? It does, but if you let it dry properly. You could also put some beeswax, I suppose, on your needle and...
Or just don't apply it. Make sure that your glue is thinned properly so that it's not chunky. No chunky. Gummy, thick and gummy.
Not how you want to do it. Or your mouth. Oil your needle.
You gotta be careful about that, because if you got, like this nubuck leather, it's gonna absorb oil real quick, and then you're gonna have an oil spot, and that's not gonna be happy,
I think it
so.
was a joke.
Okay.
But I mean, beeswax would probably be okay.
Baby powder does a pretty good job at knocking down any kind of adhesive that's left behind. And yeah, I don't know. Let your glue cure and change your needle. All right. And then handle placement,
Yep.
correct?
Yep. So that should be where your little notches were.
Where are we at here? There's our handle. And we'll use our pattern to make sure we've got our notches marked.
Yep. As soon as Clayton switches over here.
Gosh. I'm struggling today. Okay.
It's probably the glue smell that's in here.
I'm going to have to lean over, okay?
Saying that my computer is getting harder and harder by the second.
You have a chair right behind you.
Oh, Oh, yeah.
Okay, so where
Okay.
do these line up?
So these go to your 2 inside marks. So here.
There? Mm-hmm. Right between there like that? Okay. Now, this webbing will be a little bit tricky to get this
Bye,
to
Larry.
glue in properly.
Oh, and you're going to stitch those down.
Go ahead and we're just going to stitch them down.
Yeah.
That's a good idea. You know, I could probably just hold them there and stitch it.
You could probably do that too.
Let's think about the way this needs to go.
Needs to go inside, laying down.
Gotcha.
Because you're going to turn it inside out.
Just like that. Because I'll stand up off the back. Okay. I got this.
Oop, oop, oop. Tony.
What happened? Oh. I'm trying to get caught up on some of the other chat that I missed. Evidently there was drama somewhere that I didn't see.
We know you love your drama.
Oh, yeah. I don't know what it was about. I think gas prices.
That's a thing.
Yeah.
All right, so the handle's sewn on, and now we need to place our straps. So the straps on your other 2 marks, they need to line up at the top. We are going to, they want you to put some basting tape so you can lay those down,
Okay.
and then you will stitch them face down so that then they'll flip forward.
Hand me the 3 spacing tape over there.
I sure can.
And where are my quick snips?
Either. Wait. Got some of those.
Get like 2, 3, 4 pairs of one. Do you recycle plastic over there?
Depends though.
Thanks.
All right.
And then those are going to line up.
So coming straight off the bag.
Mm-hmm.
Line up how? Mark for straps.
Yeah,
Reference marks. Da-dee-da-dee-da.
but it doesn't tell me how deep any.
We've got one placement reference mark, which I've got marked on here. I'll make sure those are in the right spot.
Oh, so then you. Yep.
So I'm going to go just below the binding on that with my right one. Make sure the guys. Think so? Does that look good?
I think so.
I have to live with it.
And then just make sure that they're pointing outwards. So when you go to put your straps on, you want those to point out away.
Correct.
Okay.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and stitch this one down.
Okay. And you're sewing you sew all the way around and then an X.
Oh, that is fun.
Super fun.
Oh my gosh, there's so much padding.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Yeah, this might be getting into some class 3-4 territory.
You can do it.
Are you gonna make your stitch length a lot longer?
Yep. As soon as I get my project underneath here, start this ratchet. All right, we're gonna start there. I have to push it along here. You're sewing through a lot of padding. Appreciate you guys waiting around, for me to finish this.
I was about to take a nap.
It's so squishy.
So much padding.
So many stitches.
I don't know, make sure they don't come off, right?
That is true.
So this is going to fold over.
There we go.
One done. Next.
Clayton, you're not going to make lunch.
What time is it?
12:23.
I'm gonna have to go here soon. Alright. Moving on. Who said she would finish it?
I specifically said I would not.
Alright. Help me out with the alignment here again. Talking.
It's so fluffy.
Got it. Here? Ish?
Looks great.
Wow. You're just losing all will to care, aren't you?
Oh, it looks great. It looks symmetrical. That's what I got. Look at that 26 go.
No kidding, man. He's a workhorse. So much.
All real. What all we got left, Liz?
So after he gets those straps sewn on, we are going to place, let's see here, these nylon straps that the straps buckle into. And then we sew the gusset on.
Is there a concern about the strap tearing since it's sewn across on a nice perforated line?
Always concerned.
But we've
Yeah.
given up all will to care.
Yeah, no, I mean, there is some concern in sewing it straight across like that. You know, I've got a couple layers of leather and a layer of foam there. I guess maybe that's where you might rely more on your reinforcement tape if you're not using a very thick leather.
Just a piece of webbing in there.
Yeah, or just make sure that your stitch length is long enough so that you're not perforating it as you sew it. Once again, with that foam, you've got to be careful that your stitch length is kind of extra long than what you think that you'll need, because the foam tightens up those stitches a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I lengthened my stitch length quite a bit on this one, and it still made stitches that were shorter than I would prefer, but that's where we're at. That's just the way the cookie crumbled today.
Wherever you're at, there you are. When you got completely done with this project, what would you consider a good selling point, price point wise?
That's going to depend a lot on the leather that you use. I mean, this Heritage is $12 a square foot, so you have to take that into consideration versus if you just used all Odd Lot oil tan and you bought $50 sides or something.
That's true. And there is a lot of labor involved with this project, so
Yeah.
you know, this particular backpack, probably $350, $300. It's an all leather backpack. How much do you pay for a nylon backpack? Right.
$7,500.
Yeah, sometimes you're paying $100 even
Yeah.
for it at 75 if you get a quality.
Exactly. So
Dean wants to sell his for $3,900 so he can buy a sewing machine.
absolutely. You can do it, Dean. Find the right market, buddy.
Well, Clayton, do you think putting in the gusset is going to be long enough that you want to space it out, or do you just want to get her done? You're going to miss lunch, though.
You're
if
at
you do that.
12:30.
Yeah.
Probably gonna have to space it out, yeah.
Okay. Well, we made it to the gusset, so we
Not
will...
enough struggles today.
This 2-part video is going to be 3 parts.
That's all right.
Yeah, we can finish it up.
It is 105 things.
Right.
So that's
105 steps.
yeah, that's a lot.
Or
Absolutely.
3 videos.
Or 3 videos.
But we're getting close, guys. We got a pretty good looking back and a pretty good looking front. We just got to put them together.
It'd be like 4 videos though if we cut all the parts out in front of you and made all the piping in front of you and
It would be a lot.
done all of those things. So we cut out what we could. Alrighty. That is Friday.
We'll finish it up on Wednesday then.
Yep.
Wednesday?
Yeah, are you still here on Wednesday?
I'll be here on Wednesday.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Alright guys, well I think, is Dan still gonna come in?
I think on Twitch we're going to make some cards, I think.
Alrighty, so I think we've got one of our gathering team that pulled our leather is gonna come in and maybe tootle around and do some trading cards. So jump over to Twitch if you'd like to continue your SLC saga for your Friday afternoon. But we'll see you guys all next week. I hope you have a great weekend.
Thanks,
Bye,
guys.
everybody.
Bye.